Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. And today we are making the Bodak out of the monster manual, and he looks like this. And it says they are muscular and not sexual. They don't appear to be male or female. So I've got a couple things here. Most of the depictions I found of them online were naked. So my thought was we wanted to start with something that was kind of, naked. So I was looking at some hero clicks that are wearing like skin tight suits and stuff that we wouldn't have to do much shaving on to get that off of. And then I found this. This is Grinnaw the Goblin from one of those Lord of the Rings blister packs that they had at Ollie's a while back. And I thought, even though he's wearing some stuff, this guy could be perfect for the Bodak. But his head doesn't have that dome. So what I was thinking is, let's get him off this base. And clean him up some. Get rid of his weapon. I don't know, this little thing is going to snap that off. I think we could definitely use this guy. So what I'm just doing here is trying to get some hot glue and increase the size of the dome of his head. We'll let that cool down. We can increase that dome and maybe cut his ears off, I'm thinking. Yeah, let's cut his ears off because these guys don't have any ears. Something like that, maybe. That cool yet? It's cool. Let's add a little more glue and get on top there. Is that cool? Start working on a base for him while that cools. Oh, he's not going to stand up. Of course he isn't. All right, let's let him sit there and hope his head doesn't melt backwards. All right, so we need a base. It says these guys live in the abyss. So, unless you're in the abyss with yours, he's probably not going to be in the abyss. And I don't like to take my characters to the abyss because I don't have any trained for the abyss. I could make some, or I could just say this Bodak's here hunting. Maybe a Nightwalker created him here on this plane for whatever reason. They're created by pure evil. That's the shtick. So let's say that a Nightwalker made him on our plane. Let's put him on a regular base for us because I don't have an abyssal plane set, and I don't really like running abyssal plane stuff. I don't really like going too far out of like the material plane with anything, really. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't feel like I want it to. It doesn't give me the vibes I'm jamming on. I'll get a toothbrush. Just clean off any excess jublip. And of course we're gonna need a couple little stones because that's just what we need. I got two. Give me a third one. All right, little stones. Woo. Good. Now these guys only go. These guys only come out at night. Before we put that down, we want to make sure he's going to have room. Yeah, okay. Just get a little dab of glue on each of those. That's too much. Okay. All right. We can just kind of maybe grab a little bit of that glue. See if we can get him on the base with it. Probably not going to be able to. Yeah. But if his feet are a little bit wet, you can just dip him. And if you've been watching, you know this. If his feet are a little bit wet, you can just dip him in that glue a little bit. And set him in this baking soda real quick. And he should stick pretty good. Okay. Alright, let's look at his head again and see if we got it tall enough yet. Looks like it could go up a little bit more. And you just want to be real careful and take your time here. Because most of us are not professional artists. We're just people in our basement. I think we got his head looking pretty tall at this point, right? Okay. Need to get a little bit better of a bond on his foot there. I didn't want to use that much glue, but I don't want it coming off. All right, let's hit him with the +2 hot air gun burning. Get a little piece of fabric to suck up some of that excess glue. We don't want that just all over the place, do we? He will just never dry if we have that. Alright. Let's take a look at what we got here. Is this something we can work with? So, something like that. Yeah, I think we can work with that. So he's not going to be naked, but I just think he would look better than the alternative. Maybe I'd like his head to be a little taller even, but I don't know if I can risk messing him up at this point. Oh, that's a lot of glue. See, I should have left it. I had it where I wanted it. I thought it was looking good, but I just wanted his head to be a little dumber and taller. So let's... Had to make his head a little dumber and taller, didn't I? All right. Let's let that cool. Grabbing any little spider webs. All right. So what I'm going to do is hit him with a clear coat. I got to let that dry all the way, or not dry, but you know what I mean. What super glue does, or hot glue does, where it gets cools down. And this dude's going to be a light color. because they're going to be like a pale grayish blue or something like that. So we're going to prime him light. Oh, I should use white. Oh well. Wipe my thingy bob off here. So yesterday the blink dog was a pretty quick one-shotter that we did in one video, and I think we can probably do the same thing with the dog. I saw a little bit of, there we go, a little bit of glue down there. All right, let's start by doing the base. So I got some craft paint here, brown. I left my brush in the paint overnight. What a bad guy. I don't like my stuff. I don't take care of my stuff. All right. And like I tell you guys every time, if you're new, you're hearing it for the first time. Dirt is never one color. So I just kind of want to fill up any little spots I missed or spots that are a little bit thin. That brush I really wanted to use in there. No problem. That's going to fall apart. The cheaper brushes, they really cannot withstand being left in water overnight. Often, like the little stuff that holds the bristles in and everything kind of dies. So let's get this +2 hot air gun burning. And let's start painting him white. All right. And again, you can use any hero click you have for this, and or any mini you want to sacrifice for something like this, really. Or if you have an actual Bodak, I don't even know if they make one. I never looked, but it's kind of a niche enemy. I mean, it's supposed to not be really even in play unless it was created by a form of pure evil, like a nightmare or a nightwalker. So basically, this is like an undead who has some like flashes of memory of their real life, but mostly they just kind of like wander around doing death gaze on people and killing them. And then if they kill someone, that person within a day generally turns into a Nightwalker unless they fail some saves or something. I don't even know. I didn't really read it. I remember, I know what the enemy is. I just haven't looked at it recently. Probably should have done that. I have never seen a GM use one of these, or a DM, or whatever you call the guy who runs your game. But I'm sure somebody has because it's in the book. It's been in multiple editions, so I'm assuming there is a demand for this guy. And I'll be honest with you, if I have a miniature of it, chances are I'll use it. So, something like that. I did get a little bit of white on the base. We'll come back and fix that real quick. Sorry, I'm wearing a ball cap this morning. It keeps hitting the damn camera. I accidentally did the Belker. Somebody posted in the comments that most of it was off screen. And that's not good. So, I'm trying to really make sure I stay on screen for everybody here. So you can see what I'm doing. And get around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. Okay. Oh, I know I didn't paint that white because it's going to be a rock and it's going to be brown. All right, anyways. Or gray, I mean. So just because something is the realistic color it is in the world does not always mean it's going to look that great. For example, if dirt's all one color on a miniature base or on a terrain you do, it looks off. But if you do a ridiculous color of like a rock that is dry brushed down with grays on a brown bottom like this, even though in reality that's likely not how that's going to look in most places in the world, for some reason there's like a fantasy aesthetic rule where it looks better that way. When I say fantasy aesthetic, I mean like this like vibrant world where things are contrasted well and look different. It's just like my natural instinct, for example, when I first started building miniature terrain, was to get the measurements for something and square it up and build it as you would build it. Like, so if I made a house, I would build a house. And I'd say, okay, this is the pitch of my roof, you know. And then over time, I realized, like, those buildings just don't fit the way I want them to fit. They look too modern and perfect. So I went with a different style now. And I don't do that. I it's got some glue and stuff on it. That's all right. We can use it. Now I do them a little sillier and a little cartoonier, and I think that it sells better on the table because we are in a fantasy world. Now I'm just going to get a lighter gray. And Where did I put that cardboard? Here we go. I keep losing cardboard. I'm gonna lighter gray and touch those rocks again. Then we're gonna figure out how we're gonna paint our not Belk, what is this, Bodak. So the smart move would be to do a wash, and we can do that. First we have to paint his rags there, and I think we're going to do that in something really light. That's a little bit too dark for what I want, but it'll work. All right, so we're just going to get a little tape. Oops, sorry, Bodak. Need a little tape and a skeleton bone here. This is like a tan. If you're using Craft Smart, this is like a khaki mixed with something a little bit lighter, maybe. Not Craft Smart, Apple Barrel. Applebee's. All right. So, what I do here, when I'm painting thin areas or around rims and stuff, I kind of try to color the outside or the main body of it. What is that? Oh, it's part of my paintbrush. All right, cool. And then I try to pretend this is like a pen or a marker, so it's easier for me to trace. I made that way too wet. It's all right, we'll dry it off and it'll be okay. So since the Bodak's undead, they have the normal traits where they get they use charisma or personality instead of might or constitution for their concentration checks, and they are immune to crits and massive damage and subdual damage and stuff like that. What I would do is, since these guys, if they're in daylight, they automatically take 1 hit point of damage per round in sun or day. So what I would do with this is I would kind of next level that a little bit. We're gonna leave that tape there and use that. Let's hit him with the +2 hot air gun of burning. And so you can use a washer, whatever you have. I'm not telling you what you have to use to paint this dude, but it says that they are color-wise ugly. Gray fleshed, hairless humanoids. Gray fleshed. All right. So I do have speed paints for that, and I have regular paints for that. I think the speed paint might work better because we could just kind of do it over that cloth maybe, or really just do like a light tone wash, maybe a soft tone wash. Let's go with this speed paint. All right, so let's get, this is called Gravelord Gray. We're just gonna do 1 drop of that, and we're gonna use some of this speed paint medium And we're going to go like 2 Gravelord Grade of 1 speed paint medium on this. We're going to mix that up and see how it looks. Pull it out there. It's a little dark for me yet. Let's put it on him and see how it looks. Too dark. Mistakes were made. He is too dark. All right. You know what? When we make mistakes, that's all right. We're not perfect, right? Oh, but that actually looks like kind of how I wanted it to look. All right, here we go. We're in. We're all in on this. We're going to paint him and wipe him off. I've never tried that. That worked just how I wanted it to, even though I didn't plan that. Remember, I say this all the time. Perfection is not a prerequisite for success on making minis and terrain and stuff. Sometimes mistakes or things you do end up working out perfect. And for me, the way that just looked, I liked that. As I was saying before, when I'm trying to get into places, I try to pretend the paintbrush is like a pen or a marker and I'm tracing. Instead of a paintbrush, it kind of takes like a little bit of the thought about what I'm doing away from it. Though it also changes the way I hold the brush some, too. Okay. Get a little bit on his bags and stuff, but that's okay. We can kind of come back over them. I just want to make sure I get down here in the bottom. Don't want to miss anything. That's the real thing. If you miss something, it's going to be like obnoxiously white. Okay, try to wipe a lot of that off best I can. Man, I'm getting stuffy. Get it in there. Nice. Do the same thing on that side. Get in that crack. You can get as much out of there, but I'm so sorry. I'm snotting and snorting, and it's not how I wanted it to be. Take a look at him now. That's kind of gross and good. Now it says their eyes are white. And on this, I don't think that would stick out really well, honestly. I don't think that would give us the best look. I'm just cleaning up some of those spots where I wiped off some of that paint. Now we got to do something about that base down there too, because that screwed me up down there. We're just looking for any white spots we missed. probably not going to wipe off this excess here where I'm doing this. I'm just going to leave that. I think it's not going to be a drastic destruction to the paint job. Yeah, so it says he has white eyes. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to get a fractional brush. Fractional brush is just something that's smaller than size 1. Like it's half of 1 or whatever it may be. Okay, that is not good. Let me shake this up. Alright, there we go. So, it says our eyes are white. I don't want to argue with the official narrative here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of a black outlying circle. Something like that. Well, that's not focusing up good. Something like that. And then I'm going to come back and dry that off. And I'm going to do white. All right. Something like that. Now this is I can't find that brush I wanted to use. Where is that? I have a brush I like, but I can't find it. Alright, I'll use this. This is one of these starter brushes from Army Painter. I do want to do something with that fabric. It just looks a little plain. So I'm just getting a tiny bit of this. And this color is called Pallid Bone. I'm going to drag this out here and get it thin. See that? Then I'm just going to touch this fabric up a little bit. Give it a little more. Oh, y'all. And I'm not using like the properties of the speed paint where it's soaking down in. I'm just giving it a little bit of interest, okay? Give it a little bit of flavor. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna leave it a little dark. We'll get underneath here. All right. So that's what we got there. So that's our Bodak. And I think that, oh no, I gotta touch up that ground real quick. Let me get a different brush. Gonna fix where I messed up the ground on him. That'll take a second here. Real quick fix. I also would like to do something with these rocks. They look a little donkey. So anyways, we should put some flock on this guy. You think we should put some flock on there? Talking to myself. Kind of glad we used that miniature instead of the others, even though they should be naked. A little bit of white back there. Let's quickly get that. I don't know how that got there or how I missed that. All right. So we're just going to get some clear glue. And a cheapy brush. I'm going to pick out some spots where we would like to add a little greenery to this. Grab our flock. Now this is Woodland Scenics flock. I actually started using this kind of recently when I started making videos. I've had this for years and never really touched it. I don't like it. It's just too bright green for me. But it looks kind of like contrast-wise on a basic pops, but it just doesn't look very natural. Alright, so this will be our Bodak. This is Doom from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Remember, his gaze is his main deal. He comes up and does the death gaze, hoping you'll die from it and become a Bodak. He walks at normal speed, kind of like Jason or Michael, and then he catches you. So, thanks for watching. I'll go upstairs. I'll get a little... man, he is not focusing nice. I will get a little... get him on my little spinny thing and talk about running them in a fight. And then I'll get some thumbnails. So thanks for watching. Hey, if you like what we do here, like, subscribe, hit the notification icon. Yes, the notification icon. And do me one more favor. Check out the website. It's in the description. Check out the Discord. If you make any of the stuff that we do here, we have a work in progress and a finished kind of like painting area. We'd like to see what you have, see what you've done. Give us an idea of if you're following along and if you like the crafts. And there's some discount codes if you want to get a free mini or you want to get a discount buying minis. As always, we have amazing minis, and they're cheaper than anybody pretty much. So, because we want you to be able to populate your table inexpensively. It's only in the U.S., unfortunately, right now. We're trying to find a way to overcome the barrier of international expense because we eat the shipping, and if we can't do that internationally, it's too much for us. So, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.